Soham is a great example from freshman to senior year. Seeing that progress, and we live in an instant world, and music is and will always be progress.
Isn't that what you work for? To be able to say, like, wow, you guys made a difference and you're good people with each other. You achieve, you perform on the field, it's beautiful. Oh, but you're good together and respectful of each other. And that means a lot.
You're not going to cut through the trombone, okay?
Sorry.
That's what music is. That's what music makes me. It makes me excited, or sad, or happy, or whatever it is. That's why music is so amazing. It's able to evoke so many different emotions and recollect so many different memories from your life and events and people. And power of music is, kind of cringy as it sounds. Music has so much power and so much influence in my life, and I'm sure so many other people's lives as well,
We never tell each other how grateful we are for each other. There's few little moments where I appreciate you as a person. That never comes out that much. Unless you write them a letter, unless you talk to them in person, you never get to express that stuff. And maybe through band, you get closer and you finally get to that place where you're I appreciate you as a person and I'm grateful,
We always have our sectionals in the tab. So we got the whole tab to ourselves for an hour and we're no seniors, no coaches, no leadership, fun. No running pregame, we don't have to do anything. So someone plugged their phone into the speakers and we literally had an hour-long dance party. All the costumes were left over from some games one night. So we really, it was 8 in the morning and yet we had the energy of everyone combined. It was great. Yeah, just that moment where I just felt so free, so happy, so kicked back. It was just a specific moment to just keep with me for a while.
My name is Brian Nutting, Director of Bands at Troy High School. There are a handful of qualities that I feel make the TCMB a unique organization. One of them is that we're driven by student leadership. We have limited hired professionals for a limited amount of time while at camp, and then students own leadership in all forms, from music oversight to drill and choreography and such. The other thing is that we're not in it to win it first and foremost, and yet we tend to win. Meaning we're not focused on competition or scores. We're in it to create family, a place where kids can bond and feel safe and feel valued. And as a result, that family unit feeds our success. But yeah, it's about relationships in our organization.
Yeah, the moments that stand out to you, and that's what, the stuff that you remember, and that's what makes that place or event or memory awesome. There's one specific one, oh man, it happened literally last week. There's like that one moment when you're with everyone, and like moments like when one person makes a joke and the entire like section cracks up. Those are the moments that like stick out, you know? That was the moment when like everyone was laughing, or like everyone was happy, including yourself. And it was just, it feels so good, you know? It happened last week. It was like our last sectional, and we were just reviewing through the music, and one of our songs in the show is Jailhouse Rock, you know, Elvis Presley, kind of that 1957, 50s, 60s aesthetic. Michael, one of the other section leaders, so he was explaining to the section how we should approach like the style. You know, it's kind of like a fast swing kind of a thing. He was explaining, picture this, all right? It's like a 1950s, 60s aesthetic, all right? So you kind of think of grandma, but this time grandma's going fast, all right? It's bingo night. Bingo night, they're gonna play Jailhouse Rock, all right? And grandma's flooring it, all right? And like the whole section laughed, and I laughed, and that was fun. That was fun, you know? Like that one moment where everyone was just like smiling. Moments like that, that's what, for me, that's like one of the highlights, you know, that help you remember that specific time frame or that period, you know? My name is Aahil Abdul Nazeer. I'm 16 years old. I'm an upcoming junior at Troy High School, and I'm a section leader, and I'm part of the clarinet section. It was in 7th grade when I guess, gained my passion for music. Like, my love for music grew a whole lot more, and my love for Troy High School's music program, like, began. I was curious. It's like, oh, should I continue band in high school? It doesn't seem that interesting. As a middle schooler in 7th grade, we had to perform at Troy High. And then after that, we would hear Troy High Symphonic Band perform too. I cried after one of their performances. It was called Juropo. I was in 7th grade. I don't know what year that was. That was such an amazing piece. I was in awe. I loved it so much. I was like, I need to be there. I need to join Symphonic Band, all right? And I started following their music ever since. Like, anything that was posted on YouTube, I would just listen to it. This is what band really is, especially to the freshmen last year. The freshmen last year didn't really experience like what band camp was, what marching band was, because all the limited restrictions and whatnot. This year, this is a comeback that's gonna be epic. It's gonna scream, we're Troy High Marching Band, we're the TCMB. So, it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome. Troy!
We're in a marching band, right? And a marching band, they play their shows on the field and they play in parades. And these are both examples of times where a lot of music is being created spread over a large amount of area, right? So how do you keep something like that together? Sure, you have a conductor on the field, and I mean, everyone is marching in step when you're parading, but at the end of the day, it's really important to have a strong rhythmic backbone so that in both of these settings, a marching band can operate and stay together.
Beyond his technical ability, where Soham goes above and beyond, and what's unique about Soham is his path to this point. When I started here, he was a freshman, and he was always 10, 15 minutes late for every rehearsal, like clockwork. Like if he had just left 15 minutes early every single time, he would be on time. He was very quiet starting out. And that's why he's a natural leader, in my opinion, because he's gone through the struggle and he can relate to newer members who might be going through that same struggle. He didn't come out of the gate just gunning. It took him a while. And now that he's in this role, he's doing such a fantastic job. And I think it's because of that relationship he might feel to the younger members, because he was that when he started out.
I'm Soham Inamdar. I'm in 12th grade. I play snare on the drum line, and I'm a section leader. Being in front of a camera is a little bit difficult for me, but I think I'll get through it pretty good. Say I'm playing at the performance on the field, right? It's really my personality that's going into what I'm playing, and that's a form of art. The biggest thing for me is to make sure that the people around me are happy about what they've done and excited for what they've accomplished. And that's my first checkbox for me, for what I wanted to accomplish for the year.
I think Soham he has a lot of insight that he's always able to give, and I think once he starts to recognize when all he's allowed to do it and find more opportunities to do it himself, I think they'll really be on top of their stuff.
Every person has a different way of playing their instrument. There's always a certain side that a person plays with versus another person plays a different way. So I think even in drumline, you see that over the year, over the course of the year, a person really changes in the way they play. You see their personality kind of show out through how they play. So I think that's really cool about art and how, it falls into music. For one, there's so many experiences. There's so many different parts of band. Can't really put that into words a lot of the time. This year, I think really excited for band camp, because last year we didn't have a band camp, and it was a partial band camp. It wasn't at Faholo, and it wasn't really, you didn't really get the full experience of what it was.
My name is Caroline Samuelsen. I'm a senior at Troy High School. I'm on the color guard team, and I'm also the captain of the color guard team. Geez, what is guard? I guess guard is a safe place. My freshman, sophomore year, guard was a safe place that if you're having a bad day, you could go and you'd be greeted by older girls who maybe you wouldn't know if you didn't join guard as a freshman. It would be like, hey Caroline, how are you? And I guess guard they'd always call us sisters, they'd always call us a family, and they would say, freshmen, you don't know it yet, but at band camp, we're gonna become a family. And I'd sit there haha, sure, whatever. But we honestly did. When you're learning all these intense choreographies or dancing, or you're just so exhausted, you see each other at your lowest points, and then it's how you can kind of come together and build yourselves back up that really makes you closer. When you're told to take the choreography 10 times in a row, you really get to appreciate the little moments where maybe you get 30 minutes off a sectional to bond. It's I know you outside of that toss that you dropped. We respect each other. And I guess we really do kind of love each other deep down. There's a lot of goals I have for color guard this year, but the biggest one is for us to be close. Because my freshman year, we had a really, maybe it's just because I was a freshman, but I thought we were pretty close. I thought I knew the seniors, the juniors, so we had a lot of bonding times together, or we would have a lot of times together outside of guard or during band camp where we would really get to know each other, get close. And then junior year, we couldn't hang out with each other outside of guard, or when we were at guard, we had to be 6 feet apart. So I feel like there's half the team that I don't know really. My goal for this year is just to really get to know these girls, or like kind of have them know that guard 6 feet apart isn't normal guard. Like, we would hug each other, we would cry at band camp. Like, that's us, I guess. And I really would like to get to that point this year for guard, and then so they know that the years after my year, that's the new normal, I guess.
That's the one thing that people have said to me all along as Caroline has grown up and kind of become even more of a performer in the things that she does, is she has this lovely, calming presence that people notice. So she started dancing, jazz, ballet, lyrical. So when she started to look at color guard as an extension of dance, and there's kind of with dance, there's two different paths you can go. You can continue with a private studio, or you can say, I'm going to take my talents and put it to where my high school is. Now, some high schools in the areas have a really competitive dance team. At Troy High, it seems like the beauty of dance and movement and the performance really comes at the color guard. And when Caroline saw that in middle school, she's like, that's what I want to do.
I was waiting in the undertow, set adrift with featherweight light poles, unaware of where my heart would flow. I was waiting in the undertow.
Caroline's role on the team has been really important this year in helping everyone feel welcome. I think she's really mature in the sense of understanding that she is in charge of giving the freshmen and the younger members on the team the experience that she had, or a better experience than she had. So I've really seen her mature throughout the years, and as a leader, it's been cool to see how welcoming she is and how willing she is to help, and she's so selfless, and I don't know, it's been really cool. We haven't really had leadership like her in the past.
I guess I'm just really excited to see what happens. I'm excited for Leadership Day, something I've never gone to. That'll be fun. The ropes course sounds fun. But I'm just excited to kind of have that week where nothing else matters except for drill and learning choreography, and just to be there with my friends. I'm just really excited to go and just have that experience.
There's more stuff there if you want to take it. Why? Wait, why?
COVID, like the experience, everyone gaining COVID, it's like a hot pot. Like it sounds good, but in reality, it could be just one giant mess, you know. I'm saying that as a joke, but to be honest, being stuck at home at COVID was a complete mess. I remember the first, like that weekend, that Friday after school ended, to be genuinely honest, as a freshman, thinking we're not gonna have school for like the next 2 weeks, I'm like, yes, no school, video games all day, it's gonna be awesome. And I didn't know the implications of like what was gonna happen in the future. Throughout sophomore year, where I stayed at home, virtual the whole time during the school year, I kind of realized how much I missed being like with people or in front of people. I'm a very extroverted person. I love being around others. And the best part about it is like when you're with people you know, like your friends for example, you get a reassurance that, hey, these people like that you're around them and they like to be with you. Without that experience at all, a certain set of doubts start to accumulate. Like maybe these people don't really want to hang out with me, or like, oh, this person didn't reply to my message after like a week. What if they really, like in reality, didn't actually like me? They just hung out with me because they were being nice, but actually they don't like me. You know, some of those doubts start accumulating. I mean, to this day, because of COVID, I still have those doubts. Like, there's so many experiences as a sophomore that I and so many others missed. When John and Eman said, let's meet up at Troy High and talk about this awesome TCMB documentary, I thought, oh, we're just gonna meet up at Troy High, you know, talk about this thing, and then we're gonna go home. When I first came up there, Eman came up to us and said, all right, guys, hop in my car, let's go get boba. I thought I was getting kidnapped for a second. Like, that's not normal to me. Like, I didn't gain such an experience. I didn't know that going out with your friends and go get boba every other week, that's like normal. Or staying after school or going to other people's houses and having study sessions. I didn't have that much of experience in freshman year, and I didn't have that experience at all as a sophomore. So being a junior now, thank goodness everything's going back to normal, but it's so weird because you're trying to regain all those experiences that you missed out on. You know, there's a difference between like, oh, you hang out with your friends every other week and you get to live with your friends like for a week. Because you're spending so much time together with people you know, people you love, people who love the same passion and love the same experiences as you, I think that's what helps you become more attached and more bonded with everyone and like the entire band itself. Like the small experiences that you have.
At our first break, our water break, I would like to see you first.
It's all just together. We're all just together, whether we're playing basketball at Faholo or we're all just watching a movie like during the night or even at the band camp dance. We're all just jumping around to hype music. I feel like I'm rating Bandcamp like it's like a Trivago thing, like 5 out of 5 stars, you know? The place is amazing, the food's pretty great, the rooms, and like, no, actually, but the experiences that you get at Bandcamp, like what you experience in Bandcamp every year is like, it's something new and it's something even greater than last year. And I think that's why this year was like so much better, because we experienced nothing last year.
Y'all here? Go ahead. Start number 1. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To do the routines. But today, while they're practicing, and this is their very first time as well, we're going to take this opportunity to spend some time on the field. But before we do that, we are going to be doing something where we are going to be writing letters to our future selves. Okay? And the idea is we're going to like really soak up all the things that we're feeling in this moment. And then when it comes to MSBOA in a few months, you're going to get your letter back out, open it up, and read it. So it's kind of going to bring you back to like how you were feeling today and at this moment, but we're really hoping that in the letter you think about your feelings right now, this moment in time. You think about your goals for the season, whether that's individual, whether that's as a team. You think about the steps that you're going to take to achieve that goal, whether it's personal steps, you know, working with your captain or your buddy or your squad or, again, the team. thinking about your past, your present self, your future self. It's kind of like a reflection activity that has really gotten a lot of great feedback over the years. And you guys are really like reflective as it is, and we thought this time is really important to really soak in the moments that we're feeling at this point. And then when you read it in a few months, you realize how much you've grown as people and as teammates and as performers. And it's really meaningful.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tons.
Stacks as it is into the diamond point stack, and then we would, whatever we need to recover, we put it to mark time at the line. Yes, sir. Stacks is right. Go. You do a 4 count in the rear? We're changing yours. You gotta do that 4 count for everybody else.
I think I've always been like an introverted person, so I don't usually talk to people like that I don't know, or I don't usually start up a conversation with people I don't know. Even in drumline, I don't know if I didn't even talk to a lot of people like my sophomore and freshman year. In both like what I was playing and whether it be like talking to people or whether it be like asking questions, I struggled with that a lot. I think I was just too afraid to make mistakes, and I didn't trust myself on that. And maybe it was even quarantine where I was like reflecting on all this, what it meant to other people, what it means to like myself. Like during COVID, I was like, I regret not hanging out like with a lot of people, especially during drumline stuff. So I think in COVID, I just reminisce on like things on if I could have done this, if I could have done that. I didn't realize how band was like so important freshman year, but when you really start to look at it, like it's not just playing your instrument. And I think I saw that through my leaders especially. I mean, I looked at myself a lot, but I didn't realize how much like other people valued it. Like for example, how much like Draven valued it. Like he's a perfectionist, like he does everything with like pride. I looked at that, I was like, wow, you know? So yeah, like what they value. Like what Mars, Draven, Patrick, what they looked at, what they looked through band as. There's like a lens almost, like they were using that almost, if that makes sense. Doesn't really make sense, but it kind of makes sense.
I'd say that band has really just meant like friendships, and I always think of it as an escape. I just remember like my freshman or sophomore year, like starting off high school or like sophomore year, just piling on hard classes. And then on Mondays, I could kind of drop all of that and go to rehearsal, and I could laugh with my friends. Or like, I just remember if Mr. Nutting was working on drill with the band and we were just holding like our drill, that like me and my friends would practice our cartwheels on the back of the field. My dad was honestly like the best. And I know everyone says that about their dad, but he just found a way to balance his life so perfectly so that he kind of had like a slightly public image. He was on the radio, he would talk about sports, so he had that. But then he was that same like funny guy who would wake up and be on the radio at like 6 a.m., who would then come home and he was there for me and my 2 siblings, my mom. He was there for everything. Like he loved marching band. He became a band dad. Like he was just always there. He was a very present person, like physically, but then emotionally too. Like I could tell my dad like anything. Like it was great. He had colon cancer. We found out in January 2019. And then he started like once a week chemotherapy. He was good. Like he was healthy. The numbers were going down. It was great. He had a couple like surgeries to come like help it. But he was like healthy, and he had a really like positive attitude about it. He was like, I'm gonna keep fighting. Like, you guys are why I keep fighting.
I mean, I talked about this other thing at the leadership meeting, like the day before camp started. And I think I mentioned how your personality is like peeling like a fruit. like everyone has their problems, or everyone has like for say like ego. Like I think I had a lot of that like freshman year, but then I like peeled it away maybe a little, like little by little, until like you got like the core almost. Maybe like I was hiding myself away from everyone else until like I grew more comfortable with everyone around me, and then I unpeeled away.
I have a lot of friends, not just who are juniors, but also seniors. And, you know, I'm going to grad parties and all that, and they're going to colleges, and they're going to start a new stage in their life, you know? And as a junior, you're thinking, wow, I'm almost there. Like, my high school journey is almost coming to an end. It makes me wonder, especially, and I'm sure a lot of other juniors and seniors as well, it's like, I seriously need to prepare for my future. Otherwise, I'm worried that I'm going to be left behind. What if I'm just going to be stuck, you know, like before I go to college? Like, what if I don't know what I'm going to do? Because I don't know what happens next. And of course, everyone does. I don't mean like, oh, in the next 5 seconds, I'm going to do a cartwheel. And I don't know how to do a cartwheel. I meant more like, what college am I going to go to? What, like, undergrad am I going to take in? So many other things, and it worries me, you know? It worries me. It's like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, and I feel like because I don't know what I'm doing, I'm going to make a dumb mistake that will cost me my future, you know? And that's what scares me. 1, 2, 2, 2. You know, when you think of the future, like the nearby future, like, oh, school's starting, all right, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to Walmart, I'm gonna buy like that 128 pack of crayons. I'm gonna buy all my notebooks and stuff, and you know, I'm ready for school. You know, when you think about college, it's like, okay, I need to go for SAT. I need to do this. What am I supposed to do? I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And I can, you know, of course, I got resources. I'm asking for help, but still, it's kind of worrisome because it's more in the distant future, and you don't know what's gonna happen. And I guess that's kind of the thrill. You know, that's what's kind of exciting, I guess, about the future. It's like, you don't know what's going to happen, so it'll be great. But at the same time, you don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be horrible. So I guess that's what intimidates me the most, you know? You don't know what's going to happen. So.
Time goes pretty fast, and you don't have a lot of time with these people specifically, because they graduate and then they go on. It's like you don't really have that much time with them. So I think I just tried to prioritize that just a bit more.
He's very quiet, and was very quiet, and still is, but I think the breakthrough this season has been him forcing himself to play the role of leader. And I think part of it was he started realizing that the season was coming to an end. I think he could see the light at the end of the tunnel, if you will, and knowing that his opportunity to influence change was minimizing. You know, time has a way of making you realize a lot of things, and I think as he was reflecting, I think Soham started to realize there's not a whole lot of time left here, not only for the performance of it, but the time with his peers. And I think that affected the way that he played the role of leader.
During COVID, when everything shut down, that was very scary for us because he had cancer, it was high risk, so we just didn't go anywhere. We had groceries delivered, we just would never leave the house. The thing about colon cancer is it can just kind of start to totally affect everywhere across the body, which is what happened. July 2020 was suddenly his liver started to kind of fail, or his lungs weren't totally working due to just kind of the whole issues in his colon. So then he just kind of slowly started to become weaker and weaker, and he couldn't continue chemotherapy because the rest of his body couldn't really take it. So then it was just a really bad combination all at once. So we found out right before, I believe it was pre-camp week, that that could be a possibility, that within the next month, something could happen. So I went to pre-camp week just kind of on edge, constantly anything could happen at any moment. So it was just kind of a weird feeling, because it's you never really know what's gonna happen, how to feel. And then it was the first day of camp, that Saturday. In the AM, it was fine, I went home, and then I went to my friend's house because my mom's like, it's not looking good, I don't really want you to be around, I don't go to your friend's house and then go to PM camp and just kind of be away from the house right now. And then I was at camp when my grandpa came, and he told the coaches, I need to take Caroline home, we need to go. And I just remember that feeling of seeing my grandpa standing there at the field, because we were having a sectional on the field or something like that. And I knew, but I just couldn't we were still running stuff. I waited till the water break. I was as long as he didn't see that I've made eye contact with him, nothing needs to happen. I can stay right here. I can rep the number, it's fine. And then I went home, and I just remember those that 24 hours was really weird. I just didn't know how to act. I didn't know we had family in our house, and I'm get out of here, that type of thing. But that second day, the color guard coaches showed up at the doorstep. They're like, Caroline, we just left something on your doorstep, just to let you know, hope you're doing well. And it was letters from every single member of the band in there.
She was at band camp at Troy High when my husband passed away that afternoon, that day. And we had to go get her and tell her what had happened. The band was not only an escape for her in that time before my husband passed away, but the day after he died, a box showed up here with 200 plus notes. Every band member had written a note to her in 12 hours.
But I just remember in that moment, I was they always talk about the family aspect of band, that was the family aspect of band.
To me, that was the total expression of a net. It was, we have you. And it may be, she was opening these notes. We sat right over there on the floor, and she was opening these notes, and she was reading them one by one. And again, maybe from people she didn't even know so well, but they were all part of the same band. And that's one thing that I think Mr. Nutting preaches so well, is this band connection, family, together, team. And it helped. Nothing can ever really help, but to know that they were we've got you. And whenever you come back, which was only a couple days later, because she's I want to be there. I need to be there. She didn't have to explain how she was feeling. She didn't have to, no one had to stop and say, oh, well, here's Caroline. Everybody knew, and it was that collective, we've got you. I can't overstate enough what that meant to her, and I think what that meant to all of us, for it to be recognized in that simple, quiet, yet supportive way.
My philosophy of music developed at a young age when I experienced the loss of my father, and music became a companion to me, and I drew to it, and it drew to me, and saw me through thereafter several bumpy episodes of life, and was always a constant companion, and was always something to lean on. And I realized that there was tremendous power in what I was receiving in the form of healing on some level from the music. And I've always wanted to help students to see that deeply into the music, beyond the printed notes on the page, beyond preparing for the concert stage. I mean, I never wanted students to feel like they were trick ponies preparing for a show, but that if it didn't have relevance and deeper meaning on a personal level, it wasn't worthwhile. There is a longing in all of us. Maslow said love is the highest on the hierarchy of needs, and for me, that's also harmony. Finding harmony in a program where there's discord in the world, and knowing that it's a place of safety and respect, and where each student can shatter the facade and find themselves in the process of finding music.
I go to band and I know I don't have to worry about much. I just have to worry about the music. There's no nothing scary going on in band usually. It's like such an escape from the outside world, and I'm just so appreciative of 4 years of that I would never switch it out for anything else.
I think it is like the family you create that you don't really understand how you've created it, but it's done.
I guess the one confident thought I have about facing the future is that whatever is going to happen, go all out and just do it. The truth is, that really is what you have to do, whatever it is. It's like, whatever I'll do, whatever I'll partake in, I'll always go full out, because that may be the last time I'll ever do it, like senior year. Senior year will be the last time I'll ever march with people or go to band camp, And I'm sure many of the seniors are feeling that right now as well. But whatever it is, you just go full out, so you don't have any regrets, That was the best thing I could ever do. That was the best performance. That was the best leadership skills I implemented. Whatever it is, that was the best I could do, and I'm proud of it. That's what I try to achieve, at least, whenever I do anything.
I think that's what's meaningful to me. I didn't realize how much it changed me until you really look at it. I don't think I realized how much it made me grow as a person, not only through music, but as a person.
Marching band is meaningful to me because of the love and togetherness that I experience every time I'm with all of our members. It's the fact that we're all working together and we're all there for each other, and we're all experiencing success and going forward together. And that's mainly why I love being with everyone in the marching band, and why the TCMB as a whole is just so meaningful to me.
But we did get our letters back from band camp. I basically just kind of talked about how I wanted to live it all up and take the bonds that I have with everybody and just make them deeper.
To make an experience meaningful, it's really the people. And I guess what I've expressed through all of this is just the people that you meet kind of in these developing years of your life. It kind of helps frame who you are as a person for the rest of it. And it's I met all of these people in band in my 4 years, seniors to this year's freshmen. And I take little things from their character, and it's, I guess, just really framed the whole experience, and it's just like the excitement that everybody felt together.
Hi, my name is John Dannug.
Hi, I'm Emmanuel Dannug.
Just wanted to take some time to thank you for watching our project.
Yeah, it's been a real labor of love for us for the last 6 months, and we're so happy that you have taken time to support us and to watch our project. And since you've made it this far, we wanted to invite you guys to share this project with everyone you want to, because our ultimate goal is that we get our project to as many people as would be interested and impacted by seeing this.
Another thing you can do if you feel so inclined is to support the band program. So in our description we will link a link to be able to support the Troy Colt bands. So
yeah. Thank you so much for your support.